Well then, Murray, off you go for a quick gargle. We go straight to Damon Hill. He's talking to Louise Goodman.
Thanks, Jim. Well, Damon, it came together a bit better at the end of the session, but you seem to be struggling earlier on.
No, I've struggled really all weekend. Not been happy at all. So we still have a lot of work to do. We came here thinking that we made progress, and I think looking at both our times, both Ralph and mine, we performed a lot less competitively than we'd hoped for. You know, we'll keep trying.
What is the problem?
Well, I can only surmise that, from my point of view, that the car's very bad over the bumps, and it's a very bumpy track here. That's the only thing I can really put my finger on at the moment. Obviously, if I knew the answer, I'd get it sorted out.
So where does that leave you for the race tomorrow? You're starting from 11th. What can you do from there?
Well, you know, it's very difficult. If you qualify 11th, you can't hold out great hopes of finishing on a podium or anything like that. So you have to make it your goal to finish the race and try and get up in the points.
Thanks, Damon.
Damon Hill starts 11th, one behind reigning world champion Jacques Villeneuve. We'll be back shortly to analyse that qualifying session.
All the action, all the atmosphere, all the excitement. Formula 197 for PlayStation and PC. Classic racing.
Welcome back from the helipad at Interlagos. Flying high in qualifying have been the McLarens, Hakkinen and Coulthard 1 and 2 for tomorrow's Brazilian Grand Prix. Before qualifying, though, McLaren's braking system was declared illegal. Team boss Ron Dennis is talking now to James Allen.
Well, Jim, talk about a guy who's had a difficult weekend. Ron Dennis here, the boss of McLaren. As you say, Ron, I think you've proved today there's more to this McLaren than just a decent braking system.
You could say that, but we still aren't too happy with the outcome. But I think this race has had enough controversy for one weekend, and we'll just get on with our race and then look to next week to try and get things sorted out.
After Melbourne, there was a new rule, no team orders. Now, what's the situation with you now? Is the guy on pole going to win the race, or you obviously don't want the cars to break, same as in Melbourne?
We're a team, and we'll always be a team, so we will function as a team. But of course, we respect the regulations that are in place for this event.
No birthday presents for David Coulthard then?
We'll race hard, and things, you know, they're a little closer, but you know, it's a long race, a very hot race, and we'll keep an eye on things, but we understand what we have to do.
Brilliant performance today, well done.
Thank you.
Well, Ron Dennis, as always, keeping his race plan very close to his chest. But just, Tony, just looking at it now, I mean, Mika Hakkinen has pole. You'd be a brave fella to bet against Hakkinen winning his third Grand Prix on the bounce.
Yeah, you would be, but then you have to have sympathy with David Coulthard because he's looking for payback here. They've ruled against that. The stewards said they're going to watch for this team orders things very, very closely. This is the second of the two races where Ron Dennis said that the drivers are racing for the team. And if they get another 16 points on the board here, then they can go from Argentina. But that effectively means that David's got to stay where he is. At the moment, we don't know. Maybe Ron will let them race. He was being very cagey with James there, so we'll see what unfolds tomorrow.
Indeed, we will. And now Coulthard tried enormously hard to get that pole position right from the word go here today.
Yeah, he did, and David will be very disappointed about this. This is a fabulous shot at the beginning of the centre S, looking into the cockpit there and see how wide he actually ran out from the corner. He's worried about his consistency. That is his Achilles heel, and he needs to get that together in qualifying. He's got to get that pole position. He was scratching his head, wondering just where Hakkinen was ahead of him. Maybe Hakkinen's engineer is not trading information with his engineers. We don't know the situation. It's a gnat's the difference.
Despite the fact that he might lose his quickest time, it'll make no difference. Mika Hakkinen will be on pole tomorrow.
He will be on pole tomorrow. It'll probably be about 0.4 of a second when they get together on that. And look at Hakkinen here. He's a real seat-of-the-pants merchant. You know, he just drives with his wits and his skill, and he really goes for it in a big way. But you have to say, looking at the car and see the line there, how smooth he is through the corners, through the centre S. And application of the power, absolutely brilliant.
Now then, Eddie Irvine's had an excellent qualifying session, and he's talking now to Louise.
Thanks very much, Jim. 6th on the grid, Eddie. You've got to be quite pleased with that.
Yeah, quite pleased. We knew Bridgestone were going to be very strong here. So you know, to be at the sharp end is good, because in the race I think we've got a very good tyre. It's very constant, doesn't drop off a lot, so we should be looking reasonably good in the race.
You looked like you were struggling a bit yesterday. Where's the improvement come today?
Really, we changed a couple of things on my car, which I felt better this morning, and then Michael, he changed a couple of things in his car, and I think we sort of took the best of both and put them together, and you know, he made a big improvement and I made a big improvement, so it worked out pretty good.
Well, you're 2 seconds off your hero. Does that give you big satisfaction?
2 seconds off what?
Your hero.
2/10 off Michael. Yeah, well that's not bad, because my engine was a bit down today, so I'm pleased with, you know, to get within 2/10 of Michael's. Obviously, doesn't happen that often. I got to try and do it more often.
Well done.
Threw a party for the British media, he did last night, under a bit of pressure to deliver this weekend, and going very well so far, Ireland's Eddie Irvine. OK, while he was talking there, the press conference was taking place just across the road. Let's just drop in there and see what's been going on.
Third pole position today. You seem to do it quite comfortably.
Yes, that's true.
You've been quickest in every session. Were you fairly confident that you would be on pole by the end of this afternoon?
No, I was not.
Welcome back from the helipad.
Schumacher.
Last one. OK, our apologies on that. Obviously, 1 or 2 problems talking about that press conference there. Tony is still with me, but dodgy old sort of day for Jacques Villeneuve. I think Williams had 6 successive poles here at this particular Grand Prix. Never in with a shout today, though.
No, Jacques Villeneuve really struggling, but then his teammate Heinz-Harald Frentzen is up in 3rd place. It must be a bit of deja vu for Frank Williams there, watching his car, because this morning they watched as Jacques Villeneuve crashed off, just like when he lost his bottle last year in France. Now here he is spinning off. Okay, Jacques, for the first time on the groove tyres and the narrower track suspension cars here, trying and exploring the limits on this very, very bumpy track. But the one thing about Interlagos is the bumps really bring out the worst in your car, and if your car isn't perfect, you'll know about it.
Just briefly, Tony, we've criticised Heinz-Harald Frentzen in the past. He's had a decent season so far.
This is his last chance. He wants to keep a top-line job, and unless he gets it together this year, he's going to be out and back into the middle-order team. So he's really got to smooth the thing out, and he's been thinking about it in the last 2 races. He's had a 3rd place. Look, he's 3rd on the grid here. He's doing a great job, so I'm sort of about to eat my hat.
Listen, Eddie Irvine around at the start. He might just spice things up for us tomorrow.
He definitely will. I mean, he's up for it, isn't he? And he's well spiced up, as you say. Got the media together last night to say, look, I'm not really worried about what Schumacher's doing. I'm out for me.
OK. Right, now let's just look ahead what we have lined up for you tomorrow. It's a great time of day with that change of time back in Britain. 4:20 we are live. The lights go out 5 o'clock your time. Highlights just after midnight. Now later than usual, because be sure to join Bob Wilson, won't you, for the big match, the Coca-Cola Cup final, Chelsea against Middlesbrough. Highlights 11:05 here on ITV. McLaren are the most successful team in Brazil. They're in great shape to win once again. Join us for the race. Bye-bye till then.
You may like to know that the official ITV Grand Prix guide is now available, priced £9.99 from all good bookshops.